And my Excel spreadsheet. Y'all settle down. So I have no idea. Are these in order? They look like they're in order. Okay, so we've got 167 to 421. I'm looking to see. Okay, so let's see what they want us to do with it. Really? Okay, I don't want to insult anybody's intelligence, but they want you to round each one. So we're going to round each one. This is not a Hubert test question. All right, so that's going to be 170, 180, 210, 210, 230, 250, 250, 260, 260, 270, 270, 270, 270, 290, 290, 300, 300, 310, 320, 320, 330, 340, 370, 410, and 420. Everybody with me? Now they want us to make a box, a dot plot, or I don't care, stem and leaf plot, I think. So your lowest number is 170, right? So they probably want you to put it in terms of hundreds. Oh, but let's see what they want. I didn't read the directions. Hold on, let me go back. No, that's not it. Is that it? No, that's not it. There it is. Draw a stem and leaf plot, treating the hundreds position as the stem and tens position as the leaf. So we got 100s, 200s, 300s, 400s. Everybody with me? So we're going to go over here, and I'm going to put 100s, 200s, 300s, and 400s. I'm going to start from the bottom. How many 400s we got? We got 420 and 410. So I'm going to put a 10 here, comma, and a 20. Everybody with me? So that's 410 and 420. 300, I'm going to start from here. We got 0, 0, 10, 20, 20, 30, 40. So I'm just going to go here. Let me expand this a little bit. And let's go. I'm going to have to highlight this. Excuse me. I'm just doing this in organized fashion. I don't do it very often, but anyway. Let's see. 0, comma, 0, and you put double zeros if you want to. 10, 20, 20, 30, 40, and 70. I got them all? Okay, you can put double zeros if you want to. I don't care. And you could, since the directions have hundreds, you can really just say 1 right here, 2, 3, 4. It's not a big deal, okay? It's not like I'm going to mark it wrong if you put double zeros there. It's really not a good question. But anyway, let's go with the 2s now. And we'll color those per day. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. All right, 10, 10, 30, 50, 50, 60, 60. How many 70s we got? 4? 70, 70, 70, 70. and 2 90s. Man, you feel good about yourself. Now let's see how many 100s we got. 70 and what? 70, comma 80. And if you take your handy dandy curve maker, looks like we got a what? Well, we got about a normal distribution. I was off here. Should go down like that. Okay. So I don't know what they're going to ask you, but it looks somewhat to be normal. You start off low, go high, and then end what? Low. And that's a normal, kind of a normal curve. You're a little bit skewed right because some of your data is a little bit left of center. So, but in all generalization, I don't know what they're going to ask, but let's see what they ask. Oh yeah, in the future, do not show this. How many times did I hit that? T-Rex. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do 3, 3, oops, 3, 3, 3. I already did it, so. See, they got the same thing. Now, they didn't add the zeros, okay? No big deal. I'm not going to worry too much about that. All I want you to be able to do is understand the generalization behind a stem and leaf or a dot plot. Dot plot's a whole lot easier. You just put dots. Okay? Oh, my Lord. Redo with using split. So that means that you got to go back through and you got to round according to the 5s. So, Lord mercy. This is a good practice problem, but it sure is not a good test problem.
You can do this in Stat Crunch.
Okay, will it do it automatically?
Yeah, just get it.
Well, let's do that. Let's go to Stat Crunch. All right, let me go back to the problem. Thanks for telling me that. I didn't even think about that. So let me hit this and open in Stat Crunch and erase my little curve. And did you go to Stat or did you go to Graph?
I did
Graph.
Stem and leaf.
And box plot. And variable 1. Let's see. Yeah. Variable 1. And let's see. Group by variable 1. Oh, I did box plot. I'm sorry. Where is stem and leaf? There we go. Sorry about that. There we go. Group by variable 1, optional. They should give you an option to do.
I think it does both.
It does both? Okay. Well, there's 1.
Yeah, that's how I used it, but I just, when I did the top one, I just included both rows for the 2 in that one whole.
So you made another column? Is that what you did? Made another column? Are these the same numbers?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, it's the same.
Well, why did
numbers,
they do?
Split into different groups. That's why.
Oh, they did the split. This is a split.
Right.
Well, why didn't, there's got to be something to not do the split options. Hold on.
It's the same numbers. They're just split into different.
Yeah, they've done the split, but you should be able to do both. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it to do it. I don't know. I can check to find out, but I did the other one, and this one will do the split. But thank you for telling me, because it's just time consuming. I still think you should be able to do it. And I think this has something to do with it. Do 10s right here. Now compute. Nope. Oh, sorry. Hit 10s. There we go. No, it still did the split. I'll have to research this a little bit and see, but you can do it by hand, but you have to do it again, and you have to do, this is what you have to do. You have to go to the Excel spreadsheet, copy it, bring it over here. Oops, I didn't copy the whole thing. And it messed up. What did it do here? Let me hit, there we go. Copy the whole thing, bring it over here, paste, just pasted that blame thing. Control V. And now, is that the top? Okay, 167. When you're talking about, is it between? Let's go down here, because 206. What is that close to? 15. No, close to 205, or close to 210. And you have to do it in terms of fives. And the best way to do it, Holly, I haven't done that. Let me just go here. We're going to go here. And you're splitting it up. Let me just go here and show you. It's easier just to show you. Right there. And if you click here. So the first one, that 100, you got 154. Or they got them in. Okay. This one is close to 155. You see that? And where's the 159? Do they not have them in order? Oh, 190. Right there. 150 and 190. And then down here, you bust it to 2. There's 210, 210, 220, and 240. And then you go 250. And what's after 250? Well, there's 260, 260, 270, 270, 270, and you go up to 300. And then you go from 300 to 340. Okay? And there's 300, 310, 310, 320, 320, 330, and 340. So I was thinking of fives. And then, of course, then you go from 350 to 390. So that's how you do the split. So if you're doing this one, you go back. Let me close this out. You look back here, and that 167, that's going to be 160, 170, 180, and then this is going to be 200 to 240. So 200 to 240, you're going to have 210, 210, 230, boom. So let's go right here, and I'll type in, what we're going to type in, 8, and is that it? 180? Was there any others I'm looking? I don't think so. So that's going to be 180. And then here, 200, you're going to have 210, 210, and 230. So that's going to be 1, 1, and 3. And then here, you're going to have 250 to 290. So 250 is going to be 250 right here. That'd be 50, 60, and all these numbers right here to 290. So 5, 6, 6, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7, 9, 9. And then 300 to 340. So 300, so that's going to be 0, comma, 10, comma, 20. Oops, I'm sorry. Oh, conspiracy. 20, another 20, comma, and 40. And then what? 350 to 390. 350 would be 70, and then 40 would be 10 and 2. And that should be it. Man, that's not. Which one? What'd I mess up? I thought there was 2 numbers.
7.
Oh, it's supposed to be 7. Why is it 7? Oh, 170. Thank you. Well, anyway, 7.
Just 7
And 8.
And an 8. I still don't see the 8.
Wow.
Oh, I had it cut off right there. Duh, thank you. So it should be an 8. And y'all didn't say a word. I appreciate it. You know, I just sitting there looking at it, and I probably left out half of them. Did I leave out half of them? I don't know. I really don't care about this problem. I left off half of them because I had them like that. And did y'all say anything? No. Thanks, class. Y'all really suck. Which of these plots better summarize? Always it's going to be this one. It should be this one. Why? Because to me, you're taking away from the normal curve doing this. I'm probably going to get it wrong, though, because I think, common sense, you go with the raw data, which is the tens. That's my own opinion, but I'll probably get it wrong. Which one says the first one? Without splits is better. That's my opinion, but I'll probably get it wrong. Yep. They probably say with the splits. Of course. That's how you do it. Do it as a homework question, but it's not a test question. You understand? Now that took up half the class. I can see why you sent that question. It sucks. Let's see what this one is. This one's chapter 3, so it's probably not a bad problem. 3.24, 5/4. Oh yeah, this is a good test question because it's short and sweet. Find the sample variance. So let's take it. Let's do stat crunch. So I'm going to do stat crunch. There it is. I'm going to go to stat, summary stat, column, variable 1, and compute. What's my variance? 24.8. Now, you could do that on your calculator also, if you want to. Let's pull up our handy-dandy calculator. I had it pulled up, but the computer has already took it down somehow. Hold on a second, I have to set it up. Faculty staff workday, we've got a class on technology in the classroom. It's an hour. 1 hour. Not the whole day, not half the day, 1 hour. I'll shut up. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me, so I'm just talking to myself. Let's go ahead and pull that back up. Let's see, that's not it. Is that it? Yeah. So what is it? 6, 8, 10, 15, 18. 6, 8, 10, 15, 18. I think that's what I said. Edit. 6, 8, 10, 15, and 18. Everybody with me? Now I hit stat, calculate, first variable statistic. L1's already there, hit calculate. There you go. We don't have the variance. Oh my gosh, what do? We take the SX and we square it. So take 4.97, blah, 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 take the whole number. So we're going to take 4.97996. 4.97996 and raise it to the second power. It's a miracle. 24.8. So that's two sides of technology. We could also take it over to our handy dandy. I can't find it. Where is it? Is that it? Yeah. We could put it in our Excel spreadsheet. You will have to find the mean to do it. I'm just going to find the variance. That's all I'm going to find. So I'm going to go over here and do mean. I'm going to do summation of all these numbers. You don't have to put them in order to find the mean. divided by how many? 5? 5. Now I'm going to take that away from each one. And you see, you can use the Excel spreadsheet in a hurry if you're not doing 15 things. You know what I'm saying? So I can do that, then I can square it. Actually, I could do it all in one step, but I'm not going to do that because that might confuse somebody. Squared, and copy that down. Well, add it all up. That is my numerator for my variance. And equals this guy divided by 4. And there's your variance. So I just did it on the Excel spreadsheet, and it only took me maybe, what, 45 seconds? Okay, you've got 3 different ways, or you could do it by hand. Capiche? And you should feel good about yourself. Now, which one is it? What does it say? It says find the what? Sample. Sample, lowercase statistic. Lowercase statistic, regular letters. Which one's regular? S is regular. Thank you. So we got 28 people in here that don't know what a regular letter is. Is that true? Or y'all just don't want to talk to me? Y'all realize that a communicative class is it goes by a whole lot faster than weaned on a pickle class. Y'all understand that, right? But y'all want to be weaned on a pickle. Whatever. Maybe y'all are conditioned to act like this in class. Maybe is that what it is? Thank you. Appreciate the input. What do they want now? Well, what's the standard deviation? What was it on your handy-dandy calculator? What was SX? Stat, calculate. I'll just do it myself. Y'all settle down. Y'all suck. SX is 4.98. Let's see what it says round to. Wrong one, Hubert. Round to 1 decimal place. 5. 4.98 rounds to 5, doesn't it? And it should be S. I got a fantastic. So I feel good about myself. So I don't have to put $10,000 worth of money in a $1,000 car. Okay. Next. That's another indicator, girls. Run. Unless it's a 55 Chevy or a 69 Camaro, run. Next. And if they have to take their picture with it on social media, run. All right. Delete. And half of y'all have no idea what I'm talking about, so nobody's going to say anything either, right? Weaned on a pickle. All right, let me go to the whiteboard. And let's look at a question. I'm just going to type it. I can't remember the question, but it says something about pregnancy. Pregnancy has a mean with a standard deviation equal to 12 days. Okay. What is the probability of a birth within 12 days? No, let's go with 24 days. This is a test question, and it is an empirical rule. And I'll put empirical rule right here so you can't mess it up. Empirical Z rule. Okay, go ahead and draw your empirical rule. Hopefully some of you maybe have, done what I said. Go to Google, print it out, run 5 or 10 copies so you don't have to draw it. Anybody did it? No. You will by chapter 7. You'll be tired of drawing this curve, especially in chapter 7. And out of 30 people, maybe 2 will do it. Is there anything y'all are interested in that'll get y'all to talk?
It's not.
Y'all not interested in anything? Okay. Not only are y'all weaned on a pickle, but y'all have no life. Okay, good. Well, while y'all are writing y'all's, I'm going to Google because I don't like to draw it. And my teacher suggested that I do this, so I might need to go do it. Well, right now I can't get the thing to work. There we go. So I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to pull up normal curve Z-score and empirical rule. Now I realize that's a lot of words and this is a lot of work. You have to type in like, 6 words, and you have to hit a button. A lot of work. And then you have to hit image. Oh my gosh, look at there. Isn't that pretty? And pick one. Well, I'm going to pick one that's black and white. Okay? Because why? If you print one out like this, and you have 6 of these on a piece of paper, it's going to be muddled up. So you might want to go and also make sure you go with one that has the 0.15 on the end because your book is centered around the curve because some books don't even do the 0.15. They just do 2.5 on the end. They don't do the 0.15. Since your book does the 0.15, you might want to go with one that does 0.15. Okay, pick which one you want. I don't care. You can pick one with the standard deviations on the bottom. You can pick one with the z-scores on the bottom. You may, if you look hard enough, you may be able to find one with both. So we're going to use this one. Y'all going to watch this now? This is real hard work. And then I'm going to pull up my handy dandy Word document. And I'm going to pull up and I'm going to go layout. And I'm going to put 2 columns. You don't have to do this because it's extra work. But 2 columns. And I'm going to hit Control V. Well, let me do insert first. Insert, I should have copied. Picture, download. You have to hit 3 buttons. I'm sorry. And now you can hit Control C. Oops. Hit Control C, and now you can hit Control V, Control V. Now, of course, you can make them as big as you want. And you can say, well, the heck with those columns. Let's just go back to 1, and I'll just do 1, and I'll just put another one right below it. Again, this is a lot of work. So I don't know if you want to do this or not. Well, why didn't it do the whole column? Okay. And maybe one, no, that's it. You put 2 or 3. So there's 2 right there. Isn't that nice? And then print you out 10 or 15 copies. So for the 1 or 2 people that's going to do that, it'll pay off. The rest of you, it's a lot of work, I know. So anyway, you're welcome. Yes, ma'am.
Mind if we have them already printed up, like
That's-
when we take the tests?
I don't care. I figured you were the one that was going to do it. Let's go with, notice I said 1 out of 30. Y'all notice that, right? Because usually that's what it is, 1 out of 30 that does it. And then how many complain, I was going to say something else. How many complain about having to draw it? Everybody. Except for the people that invented it, they don't have to draw it.
Will you please take that G off of that within?
Where?
Up at the top.
No, I'm going to leave it there. There. Are you satisfied?
Yes, thank you.
I'll do anything for communication. I did that on purpose. All right, so what do you do now? Well, if you want to, you can take your handy dandy white pen and you can, it needs to be bigger, but let's go here. And we can just erase these. Well, it's supposed to, there we go. All right, I'm going to erase those. And I'm going to put my mean in the middle. I'm going to keep that, I could leave that 0 there. And see, that's what's so good about having these. You can actually, apply them to different things. Like I said again, it takes a lot of work. So there's your 0. And what are you going to add to the right? 12 days. 12, 14, 24, and 30 what? And over here is negative 12, negative 24, and negative 36. So, how many babies, or how many births, are within 24 days? The word that will mess you up is 24. Because I can also say less than 24 days. Or I can say what? More than. Or more than 0 and less than 0. Because what is 0? What does 0 represent as far as being born? It's the day you're born. Okay? So, I can say 12 days after, or I could say 12 days before. But when I say within, what area are you going to highlight? And somebody add those up. Well, 68 plus what? Dang old 17 or 27, I don't know. What is it, 27 plus 68? What does that come out to be? Well, you can easily take the 5 and 5, it should be 90. Check it and make sure. I mean, 5 and 5 is 10, right? No, I'm sorry, 5 would be 95. 2 standard deviations. That's how you use the empirical rule. That question, or one like it, will be on the test. Do they give you a mean? No, they do not. They just say the mean birth, pregnancy has a mean birth with a standard deviation. Okay? You don't have a mean birth of 24. What the heck does that mean? Okay? Unless you're counting births. But you're not counting births, you're counting days before and after birth. Everybody with me? So, you got to watch out for those 3 words. If you've got within, what's the normal thing that people do when I say within 12 days? They'll say 34%. Because we think of positive. We don't think of negative. Okay, we generally think of positive. Nobody ever walks around and says, well, I think that would be probably negative 12 and plus 12. No. Most people, when you say, locate 12 on a number line, a distance of 12, most people will go to the right. But you can also go to the left if I say distance, because the distance between 0 and 12 is 12, and the distance between 0 and negative 12 is 12. But people usually lean to the right side. Correct? Everybody good? All right, let's do a Z problem. And I also did these same problems yesterday and in my 103 class. So if you want to watch those videos, the one person that watches it, you can do it, because I had to go over the same stuff. All right, here is a Z problem. Anytime you see this, a normal distribution with a mean of blank and a standard deviation of blank, all of that, when you see that in a set of directions, draw a normal curve is what you're going to be doing. With the what? With the empirical rule. So I'm going to put a mean of 100 and a standard deviation of 25. So I'm going to pull in my handy dandy, because I don't want to draw it 15,000 times like 25 of y'all are going to do. And let's pull in, there we go. Whole lot easier to draw it, isn't it? And let's make it a little bit bigger. And I'm going to block out the bottom, and give me a second to do that. And I'm going to fill out the bottom. And what goes in the middle? 100. And 125, 150, and 175. Negative what? I'm sorry. 75, 50, and 25. Now, with, and I'm going to put this again, I had it up there, but I want to put the 120, I want to put the big numbers there. Now I'm going to write the Z numbers in red. 0, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Now the question will be in blue. I'm going to put the question in blue because this is the direction, and here's the question that you're going to ask. This is one type question. Find Z of .27. I'm sorry, of 132. Find the z-score at 132. Now, first of all, and I want to put a B here because I want to go ahead and show you A, there's A, and B, find the probability at 132. In other words, what is the percentage at 132? Or what is the probability at 132? So the first thing you got to do, we're going to do a little bit of common sense. Now this is empirical rule right here. This is not, you know, definite. This is empirical rule. So I'm going to plot 132. Where would 132 be? Well, what's between, let's see, 12 is right in here. Let's see, because half of 25 is 12, right? So 12 plus 25 is what? 137? So that blue mark right there is at 137. Would everybody agree with that? Mm-hmm. All right, we were looking for 132. Now you could keep interpolating, finding the middle of the middle of the middle. We know that half of 12 is 6. So that would be 131 right about here. Everybody with me? So there's 131, so 132 would be right in here. So there's 132. So we can actually add up. Looks like, would y'all agree that this is about a third maybe? That's about a third of that 13.5. Would everybody agree with that? A little less than a third. So what is 13 divided by 3 or 14 divided by 3? It's about 5. Okay, it's a little less than 5. I'm going to say what, 4, 4.5? So I'm going to put 4.5% right here. Now just add up all these numbers. Well, you know this is what? What's half of 100? 50%. So that's 50%. This is 34%. So that's 84%. 88.5. So I think it's probably around 88.5%. Now I'm going to put a squiggly equals and a 88.5% is up to 132. Now that's not definite. That's just empirical rule. You're going to be using that in chapter 7. Okay, so you better get used to using the empirical rule and trying to, you know, approximate what percentage goes with that 132. Now let's do a z-score. First I got to give you the formula. So I'm going to erase this over here. No coughing in class. All right, so here we go. Z is equal to x minus x bar over standard deviation. But we can go back and use a little bit of common sense, and I think, since I said that was about a third, okay, I would say it's around 1.33. I'm going to say the z-score here is around 1.33. And how did I get that? Well, what's the third of 1? This is 1 right here because this is 2 to 1. That's 1 unit. What's the third of 1? 0.33, Hubert. That's right, class. So that's why I say that the z-score there is about 1.33. So now let's see what it really is. So what's x? Okay, what's x bar? Okay, what's s? Are we're gonna play this game all day or what? So what is x bar?
100.
Thank you. Was that you, Mr. Ramsey? I appreciate your help. Mr. Ramsey, what's S, since you're the only person that's going to talk to me? What's S?
25.
Thank you. It's real hard, isn't it, to talk? Okay, so anybody in the class want to tell me what's the only number left? No, it's not. What is it? What's the only number left? 132. All right, somebody take, I'll do this for you. That's 32. over 25. Now somebody take your handy dandy calculator and tell me what 32 over 25 is.
1.28.
1.28. And that is your z-score for 132. Now, there's two types of z questions. One is with one score. The other is comparing two scores. Let me find LBJ versus Shaq. I'm going to take a minute and find that for you. Because z-scores are, in the future, do not show me this. Okay. All right. In the questions you're going to see on the test, LBJ versus Shaq scores. PDF. Let me go. I don't know if I'll be able to find it or not. Let's see if this is it. Yep. Let's go to, I know this is not posters, but I'm trying to do the best I can. We study posters at Faculty Staff Development. When's the last time y'all used a poster? 3rd grade? And we think it's cutting edge technology here at Tri-County. We spend a whole afternoon looking at posters. And spend 1 hour on technology in the classroom. Shut up, Hubert. I'm bad, aren't I? Okay, I did save that. Okay, now let's go to our handy dandy whiteboard. This has, teachers use this question a lot because it's a good question. And of course, Tri-County Tech, we had a book that had this question in it, and we decided to quit using the book. So I go and find it and bring it in to use it because it's a good analogy or a good type question. So I want you to write it down. Now, when you write it down, don't write it down word for word because it's all wordy. Just write down the basics. Give y'all a minute to write that down. Mr. Johnson, you see that okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, of course, it was done a long time ago, but, and you can look this up on Google. It'll just look up Shaq versus LBJ z-scores. And you can click on one of the schools and it'll come up. It's a very popular question with statistics. So it's going to come up if you Google it. And a lot of people say, well, Lyndon Johnson wasn't that tall. Well, really, he was at that time. You know who the shortest president was? I believe it was Madison, wasn't it? 5'4". Some of y'all ladies are 5'4", aren't you? 5'5". Okay, that's how tall one of the presidents was. 5'4". Yeah, 5'4". Somebody Google it and look it up. I think it was James Madison. Somebody look it up for me. And of course, since, I don't know how tall Reagan, Clinton, I want to say that Obama was a little bit taller than W. I have to look it up. I don't know who the tallest president was in recent history. But I know Madison, I think, was 5'4". Anybody look it up? Of course not. You're not going to do anything
Madison
for
was
it.
5'4".
Who?
Madison was 5'4".
Okay.
Lyndon B. Johnson was actually tied with Abe Lincoln.
Okay. Oh, well, then he's the tallest. Wow. So none of the presidents right now,
No, like Obama was 6'1".
he's only 6'1"?
Most of the other ones were 6'1" or 6'2". more
Wow.
recently.
So 75 inches, is that 6'3"? I don't know. 72 is, yeah,
75 would be
6'7".
6'4".
Oh, 6'4"? Okay.
Yes.
Well, anyway, dang old tall. But who is relatively taller? Please tell me y'all are not texting in my class. Please. Thank you. Okay. What is the qualifications for being president of the United States? You have to be a certain age. What is it, 42 or something like that? And you have to be a citizen, natural-born citizen of the United States. And you have to, not have any felonies or anything like that. What does it say about being tall? Does it? Now, any redneck with two teeth in their head will tell you that Shaq is taller. That's not what the question's asking. No sneezing in class. What is the question asking? It's not asking who is taller. It's asking who is what?
Relatively taller.
Relatively taller. What does relatively mean? Just write these words down. In respect to your own population. Or you could say, in respect to your own group. In here, there's two groups. Somebody tell me what the two groups in here are. Male and female. So who is relatively taller in this group? You got two groups. You got male and female. In this case, it's not male and female. It's presidents against what? Now, Shaq is very tall. But is Shaq a big fish in a little pond or a little fish in a big pond? What is the qualifications for being a basketball player? Well, you have to run, you have to be able to dribble, you have to be able to shoot. Does it say anything about height? No. Spud Webb was 5'5". Okay? Spud Webb could dunk a basketball. Then why does the coach at the junior high school grab the 7-foot 6th grader? Because it's an advantage. One of the advantages. It's not a prerequisite. It's not a requirement, but it's a dang old what? Advantage. So, what is a majority of the basketball players in the NBA? What are they? They're tall. So is Shaq, is he a big fish in a little pond or a little fish in a big pond? It's hard to put little with Shaq, but he's a little fish in a big pond because everybody in the NBA, except Spud Webb and 2%, what are they? They're tall. So is Shaq relatively tall in a population of basketball players? No. Is LBJ relatively tall as presidents? Yes. LBJ is a big fish in a little pond. Shaq is a little fish in a big pond. So how do you compare them? You give them Z-scores. So calculate the Z-scores for each one of these, and I'm going to bring in the handy-dandy, if I can, bring in the handy-dandy graph so I don't have to draw it again. I can't remember. Oh, pictures. Where did it go? Well, it disappeared. Oh well. I don't understand what happened to my... Did I not bring it in a while ago? I must have overrode it. Well, I suck. There we go. It's on downloads. There we go. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so we can put the numbers on it. And since we're changing everything to Z-score, I'm going to do Shaq in blue. Well, no, LBJ was a Democrat, so I'm going to do him in blue. He was one of the worst ones, too. Anyway, Z for LBJ is equal to, what is his height? 75 inches. Minus, what's the average for presidents? 71.5. Over the standard deviation of 2.1. So somebody crank that out.
1.6.
So I'm sorry, say again? 1.6. Is it 1.61?
No, it's a bunch of sixes.
1.67? Always round to 2 with the Z-score. Write that down. Always round to 2. So 1.67 is right in here. LBJ, 1.67. Now we'll do Shaq in, well, it's not purple. He was a Laker, but we'll do as close as we can get. If I do it in yellow, y'all bitch too much about not being able to see it, so I'm not going to do it in yellow. All right, so Z for Shaq is equal to, how tall is Shaq? 105 inches? How tall is he? 85 inches minus, I'm looking for it, there it is, 80 over 3.3. Somebody give me that one. 1.51. So that is right here. Now, of course, I'm exaggerating because 1.5 is right there, but I'm trying to show you. Shaq is at 1.51. So therefore, who is relatively taller? LBJ. The further you are, most contextual, the further you are, what are you close to? Well, this is unusual, and this is what? Outlier. This is unusual, this is outlier. The closer you are to unusual and outlier, the more ER you are. Wider, faster, in this case taller, the more ER you are. So Shaq is not as tall relatively as Lyndon Johnson because Lyndon Johnson is a big fish in a little pond. That's how you use Z-scores. That's the type of question you're going to be asked on the test. I think it's going to be something like test scores or something. A test in psychology with a class average of this and a standard deviation versus an econ test with a class average here and a standard deviation. That's the two type questions I'd like to ask on a test if I can find them. Now, that's it. That's Unit 1. So that means Thursday, what y'all going to be doing? If y'all don't send any more questions in, I'm going to send in a test. I'm going to do the test. And then after we do the test, I'm going to put the dates up for the test and the homework. So some of y'all hammy squirrels, y'all can go crazy and run around in circles and be happy because you've got a date so you can do all your homework in 24 hours. Okay? Everybody should be on 3.4 homework or 3.3 homework, and you're getting ready to do 3.5 or vice versa. That's where everybody should be, but I know they're not. Questions? All right. Make sure you send them in if you've got them. I'll go ahead, while y'all are convulsing, I'll go ahead and stop the video. And call